Hey everybody, welcome to Silence Your Cell Phones. I'm Jarrett here with my co-host per usual, Kevin.
What's up, guys?
And this is our week back after semi-hiatus. Kevin and David held it down while I was gone. I missed all you guys. Glad to be back.
We tried.
No, you guys did great. I loved it. Listened to it on my car ride home. It was beautiful.
Sweet. I'm glad to hear that. It wasn't the same without you. I was glad we were able to put something out that was feasible.
Yeah, but David was a good pick. He's good people.
He is good people. We like David a lot.
Yeah, and I know we're getting this to you a little later on Wednesday, but we didn't record on Tuesday like we usually do. As you can see by our backgrounds, we were both anxiously awaiting an Atlanta championship, something that we were not old enough to remember the last time that happened.
Yes, go Bravos.
Most of our friend group wasn't even born the last time.
Big shouts out to the city of Atlanta.
Yeah, they needed it.
They did. They needed a championship.
Fierce.
Yeah, man, they were good, man. They were real good.
Yeah,
a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, winning 7-0 is always nice too. There was no doubt.
Yeah, and that Jorge Soler home run, did you see that? Dude, did you watch it?
Yeah. I've never seen a ball hit that hard in my life.
It was so far, dude.
They said it only went 440 feet.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's right.
Well, see, what I think happened was I think it was like a moonshot. So it wasn't just far, it was also super high.
Well, I think it just got stopped because it hit a building. I think it went out of the park and hit an apartment building or something.
Yeah, that thing was absolutely monster mashed, and he knew it. He pimped. Did you see him pimp it?
Yeah, well, you have to, man. I think it sounded like a shotgun.
Yeah, dude. So, but go Braves.
Yes.
And we'll be enjoying that for at least the next, the next
for at least
year.
The next 26 years.
Yeah. Well, okay, sure.
We'll have that one to hold on to.
Yeah. So,
but anyway, back to why everyone's here. Movies.
Yes.
Kevin,
sir,
what did you watch this week?
Ooh, well, it's funny that you should ask that. I didn't expect it at all. I didn't actually watch movies this week. I'm going to be honest with you, bud. I saw a lot of TV shows. I did finish Inside Out on Netflix, which was
You're breaking up. I mean,
I'm breaking up.
Yeah. So the last thing I heard was I'm going to finish Inside Out.
Oh yeah. So I finished Inside Out.
Okay.
And it was good if you like the Family Guy-esque type shows. Archer.
Oh, you're talking about Inside Job?
Inside Job. What did I say?
Inside Out.
I feel like that's a movie.
That's a Disney movie.
Yeah, I thought so. Inside Job. So I finished that, and it's pretty good. Still catching up on Blacklist. We did watch the True Detective, the last 4 episodes of season 1. And if you haven't seen that podcast, it's out. Let's see, what else was there? There wasn't a whole lot else. I was pretty enthralled in this Atlanta Braves Houston Astros series, and obviously NFL on Sunday is kind of my thing too. So not a whole lot of movie watching for me this week. Plus I knew that we had a pretty big slate with Ron's Gone Wrong and Dune, and I think you're going to talk about the Last Duel a little bit as well. And I can't wait to watch that. So a lot of movies coming up for the week. So that's pretty exciting. But I know you just got back from vacation. I don't imagine you were able to get too much movie watching in.
No, I honestly didn't get a lot of watching in. I watched, so starting my vacation, I started out strong. I pulled the triple feature.
Yes.
3 movies in theater one day.
Yeah.
All of which we'll discuss a little later in the podcast. So
I got to join you for 2 of those. I was pretty happy about that.
That was pretty awesome. And then I watched True Detective, obviously. I watched Project X on Monday. Party movie. Pretty fun.
Yeah, that's the high school like the based on a true story, like the biggest high
Yeah,
school party ever or something.
yeah, it was pretty wild. I don't know how accurate it was, but it was pretty funny, kind of raunchy, but hour 30 minutes. Just needed something to break apart the day.
Sure.
I started watching season 3 of You today, and it's really good for you, those who have seen the show. If not, you should watch it. It's a pretty crazy show. Um,
Is that the one with the guy stalking the girl? Is that?
yeah,
Yeah. I've seen the preview for that.
yeah.
Is it worth watching?
I love it. It's something. Like you watch it and
Yeah.
you're like, dude, what the hell is happening?
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, at least you got to you did some watching.
Yeah, a little bit.
I wouldn't call it a vacation week.
Nah, yeah, I watch movies when I'm on vacation anyway. So definitely going to try to crank it up a little more this week.
Yep.
I know I got to get to Sherlock for next week's podcast. So
yeah, they actually took it off Netflix, so I don't
Ooh.
know where to find it.
Oh no.
Yeah, I gotta look for it today. So
Yikes.
Yeah, after this,
I'll look after the podcast, see if I can find something.
Sure.
Well, screw you, Netflix.
They take all the good stuff out.
What the hell? But I guess have we even told the people what this month? Did we mention it faintly?
Maybe slightly. I don't know how much we said, but let's go ahead and introduce the November movie topic for everyone, or reintroduce if we've already said it. I'm not sure. But Jarrett, if you would do the honors.
So November, we are doing disaster movies.
Yes.
It can be natural. It can be, I guess, man-made if you're looking like a Hindenburg type situation. Any disaster,
or like a biological type.
Yeah, like a virus, because we know how that goes. So anything like that, we decided. I guess it's kind of like a pseudo follow-up to horror movies. Not exactly horror, but bad situations.
It'll be a nice break from the horror genre, I think. It'll be welcome.
Yeah, I think it's, we were talking about it before the podcast. This is probably my least favorite genre of movies. I never really feel compelled to watch one unless it's like on TV and I have literally nothing else to do, or if it has an actor in it that I'm interested in.
I feel like these are the type of movies that are played more on TV. Like I don't know why that. I feel like I've seen most of these movies on like TBS or something as like a matinee.
That's what I was going to say, like FX or
yeah,
Turner Classic Movies stuff. Yeah. So maybe there's something to that. I don't know.
Oh, that actually reminds me of a movie. I don't know if you would even count it. The James Franco movie. The
Dude, we literally talked
47 hours. No,
yeah, 127 hours.
127. Would you count that as a disaster movie?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
He gets his arm trapped under a boulder. That seems pretty disastrous.
It does. Okay, good. Yeah, I would have included that in my list because I didn't.
Well, that dude came to Birmingham Southern.
Wait, did he really?
Like the actual,
yeah. To use the silver speaker.
Yeah.
I think one year.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. Did anybody give him a hand?
Yeah. Well, anyway, it was fun having this podcast before we get slaughtered by
or get canceled.
The cancel culture.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm done.
Are we ever done?
That was in poor taste. I'm sorry.
Okay. I got my joke edited out of the last podcast I was in, so one of us.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So, are we just gonna go ahead and get into it? The main thing.
Yeah, I think we were just going to do kind of disaster movies that I guess, resonated with us or that we kind of
Sure.
like the most. I know I got to figure out topics for this month because I don't really know how to break
Yeah.
apart disaster movies. But so it'll be a learning experience for all of us. I'm probably least versed in these if
Sure.
I had to guess.
Yeah. It'll be a fun one to tackle, though, I think.
Yeah, there'll probably be some hidden gems in there.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Well, Jarrett, if you want to go ahead and get us started, man, how many did you bring? I'm
Well,
curious.
well, I know you said 4, so I got 4.
Okay, perfect.
My first one had to go with the comedy genre,
Mm.
and it's a movie that I've probably watched 2 or 3 times a year, and it has James Franco.
You actually picked that movie.
I
I
had to,
can't
dude.
freaking believe
I
you.
had to, man.
You
This is the end.
that movie.
This is the end. Is high quality film. If you haven't seen it, you haven't lived, really.
Channing Tate Yum.
Channing Tate Yum, as we like to refer to him. I
I
mean,
don't think we can quote that movie on this podcast.
There's a couple quotes that we could probably find. Something not so cool happened last night.
Yeah, something not so chill happened last night.
The
cast in that movie was amazing, though, to be fair.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most well-cast movies out there. I mean, you have Danny McBride, James Franco, Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill, Emma Watson, everyone in that.
The list goes on.
Everyone
Rihanna
at that party
was there.
Rihanna, Craig Robinson.
Mindy, what's her name, was there.
Yeah, McLovin.
Yeah, I was going to call him Fogel.
Michael Cera.
The guy that plays the piano.
Craig Robinson.
Craig Robinson was in it. Yeah. He's great. But that cast was like fully loaded. Channing Tatum was. I mean,
Channing Tatum
was great. Absolutely great.
It's just I feel like most disaster movies are downers. There's not a lot of upside to them, and so I think taking the end of the world, like the actual apocalypse, and making it funny is very well done. And I think letting the cast just be themselves, like none of them, they were just their names. Like,
did you say Seth Rogen and Jonah Hill, because they were like the main characters?
Yeah. So James Franco, Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill. I forget Jay's last name, but whatever.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. I don't know his last name either.
Yeah, so they were all it was just hysterical. Like, it's probably might be the most top quoted movie I have in my arsenal.
I'm gonna want at least a bite of the Milky Way.
Yeah. I'm gonna be a little upset if I don't get a bite of the Milky Way.
CT Crunch. Dude, it's so cool. The funny thing about that movie is, Jarrett, is that I feel like it's so underrated, and I don't know. It's pretty raunchy, right? Like it's filthy. Okay,
it's filthy, but I think that is the beauty of the movie, though.
It's so funny, though.
Like you probably don't go 15 seconds without another funny quote.
Yeah,
being said, and it's not even like they're meant to be funny, but when they're just talking about a Milky Way bar as being the last type of food they have,
when they see, here's the thing. I think it's how they would actually act. Like, I think it's how they exactly how they portrayed it in the movie is how each of those characters, those people, would be in real life.
I think that's just a night in the life of those people. Like, had it not even been the apocalypse, I still think they act like that at a James Franco party, even though no one's really partying with James Franco anymore.
Not anymore.
So,
hashtag cancel.
Hashtag you dunced it.
Yeah, Seth Rogen doesn't want to party with you anymore, then you've clearly done something wrong.
Yeah, when you party too hard, for
Yeah.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah. That's saying something.
Yeah,
That's an achievement. Well, not really, not an achievement. Sorry, that comes with that comes with a positive connotation that should not
that's
exist
true.
when discussing James Franco anymore. So, but yeah, the movie was actually a gem. But
Thank
I did
God we
not
have
think
Dave Franco.
Yes, Dave Franco, love him.
What do you mean you can't
21
believe I
Jump Street.
picked it?
I just didn't think you would.
That movie's gold.
I mean, sure.
It's in my It's in my 4th spot, dude.
All right.
All right.
So I'll go with my first one, and I went with a classic, an absolute banger. I think everybody has either seen this movie or loves it or both. Oh, did that make sense? Whatever. Armageddon.
Armagreggon.
It's because you said it earlier.
Armageddon.
Armageddon. I mean, this movie was absolutely insane. If you've seen it, then you've cried in a movie, because I think I'm like over 1,000 watching it and not crying. Bruce Willis, Ben Affleck, Billy Bob Thornton, Steve Buscemi, Owen Wilson. The cast is nuts. It's an absolute classic.
I forgot Owen Wilson was in that movie.
Yeah, Michael Clark Duncan also in the movie. Rip. Yeah, lost him too soon, man. And yeah, it's just it's a movie about a Texas-sized asteroid that's essentially going to crash into the Earth, and Bruce Willis is an astronaut, and his future son-in-law has Ben Affleck, and basically it's you gotta watch it if you haven't seen it. I don't want to spoil anything. That movie is just phenomenal.
Crazy. They're not even astronauts.
Were they not?
No, they were.
I've got to rewatch it.
They were oil drillers or something like that. That's why they needed them, was because they knew how to drill to the center of the asteroid. So they had to train them to be astronauts.
Yes, that's right. It's kind of like it reminds me of Space Cowboy a little bit, but I guess they were technically astronauts. They were just old as dirt.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Armageddon is a pretty amazing movie.
So wait, are you going 1, 2, 3, 4?
Oh, I don't have them in any order.
Oh, okay, cool.
I couldn't rank these movies. It would be so hard for me.
That's fair.
Yeah. So my first disaster that has had a lasting impact on me is Armageddon.
Yeah. So I I saw that for one of my sister's birthdays.
Really?
Like, yeah, we went for her party and then went to see Armageddon.
Well, Lauren, if you're here, comment in the chat if that's a true story.
I feel like it is. I feel like my mom made me cover my eyes when they went to the strip club.
That's big time.
I was a wee lad.
That's big time mom vibes right there.
Yeah, always looking out.
Love Mama Kim.
Look how I turned out now.
You're an absolute degen. It wouldn't.
It was all because of Armageddon.
Mom, you left your fingers open.
Say, what's she doing?
Yeah. So yeah, that was my first one.
Nice. Armageddon.
Armageddon. Oh, you almost did it too.
I almost said Armageddon.
Okay, so what's your second one?
My second one, Bill Paxton. Mm-hmm. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Love him.
Twister. Yeah.
You know what my favorite Helen Hunt movie is? Twister.
Yeah, so you got, I think Bill Paxton is also criminally underrated.
Also, Rip Philip Seymour Hoffman.
And I think Bill Paxton's dead. I think Rip Bill Paxton.
Oh, really?
Yeah, rip half that movie.
Yikes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I remember growing up, I don't know if you've ever seen a laser disc.
A laser disc?
Yeah.
No.
So like, for those of you who have been to my house, we have like a downstairs theater type thing. Mm. And growing up, we used to have a laser disc, which was like a DVD, but times 10. Like it looked like a record.
Oh,
Like it was huge.
what was the point of it?
I think it was just the next wave after VHS, but before DVD.
Was it?
Yeah, it obviously never caught on.
Heard of this.
Yeah, but when you walk into my apartment, those like movie posters of Raiders of the Lost Ark and Braveheart and all that,
Right.
those are Laserdisc covers.
Really?
Yeah, that I just cut and framed.
I had no idea.
Yeah, but
that was a thing.
I just remember watching it on Laserdisc in my basement with the volume cranked to like 100, and seeing the cow fly in a circle was probably my favorite thing.
So I have to be completely honest with you. I've never seen Twister.
It's a good one.
I've heard good things. Obviously, it's one of those like kind of classic movies.
Yeah.
People reference it a lot. Never seen it. I've always wanted to though. So this will be a good time to do it.
Well, guess what your movie of the week is, pal?
I love it. See, I did that.
You make my job too easy.
I did that for you so that because I knew that you're probably unprepared.
Oh, that's me. I always come to these things unprepared.
I do. Wait, are you being facetious? Because I do.
I know. I'm for sure being facetious. I know you.
Oh. All right. I'm trying to change this thing. It's not working. It's kind of annoying.
What are you trying to change?
My lighting. Because I think it's affecting the video. Kind of annoying. Can you see how bright the monitor is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why.
Mm.
Neither here nor there.
All right, so your next movie.
Yes. Those of you who know me, this will not come as a surprise in the slightest. Independence Day. Little Will Smith. Absolute banger. Jeff Goldblum, Bill Pullman. Did I ever tell you that the guy that works with us now looks like Jeff Goldblum?
No.
Like actually, I'm being serious. They could pass for identical. It's crazy. You say that, okay? I got to show you a picture of this guy. Yeah, looks just like him.
I'll have to be the judge of that.
I'll let you. It's crazy.
You have to send me a picture of him and Jeff Goldblum, and you have to tell me I have to pick which one's the real one.
All right. I mean, it's his doppelganger. Actual.
That's a bold statement.
It is. There are worse people to look like though than Jeff Goldblum.
100%.
Yeah. So I ain't mad at him for it. Yeah, Jeff Goldblum, Judd Hirsch. The cast is great. I obviously am a big Will Smith fan. This is probably my favorite Will Smith movie of all time. I could watch this movie 100 times a year and never get tired of it.
Wild Wild West.
Oh, what movie is that?
Yeah, speaking of disasters.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a train wreck of a movie. What a terrible. I wish he'd do like the Ryan Reynolds thing where they were like, "What? We didn't make that Green Lantern movie." What?
That was a really good plug in Free Guy.
But no, yeah, Independence Day, aliens and whatnot.
I do think aliens attacking would be a disaster.
I find it pretty disastrous.
If they could kill us with a laser beam.
Yeah, and whatever other experiments that they would do. I'm not with it. Tell Andrew that I'm going on record and I am against alien invasion.
I'll let him know.
Thanks.
That's a solid choice.
Yeah, it's just one of those movies that's always been a thing for me. Since the first time I saw it, I've always thoroughly enjoyed it. So, and I consider it a disaster movie, and so it naturally is going to be included in my picks.
I respect that.
Yeah. So, and you obviously, I'm a huge Will Smith fan. So,
yeah,
I don't think I've left him off a list, except for maybe the actors. Ironically, the one about actors I'd pay to watch. I think he was just an honorable mention
Yeah,
or something.
I think he was an
I don't
honorable
think.
mention. We weren't prepared to fight on the first podcast of the series.
Well, also Gemini Man.
It's
Come on,
two
man.
It's two Will Smiths on the screen for me. That's no thank you.
That's too many.
No thank you.
So yeah, there it is. My second one, Independence Day. You have a third one.
I do have a third one.
And I bet it's juicy.
Some parts of it are juicy. And it's San Andreas.
San Andreas, the Rock.
Yeah. And Alexander Daddario.
She's okay too.
She is. I mean, look, I am what I am. She's the only reason to watch the movie. I want to say it. I love The Rock. He's cool, but
if you could see your head on The Rock's body, then
yeah, of course he's attractive. I'll say it straight up. No self-respecting man would say, you know what, I wouldn't want my head to be on The Rock's body.
Exactly. Couple of good-looking actors and actresses there.
Yeah. I mean,
I ain't mad at it.
I mean, it's just your typical Mother Nature destroy stuff movie.
Yeah, so I haven't seen that either, but the trailer looked really, really cool. I do remember that.
I saw it. I don't know where I was coming back from. I might have been when I was traveling for work.
I feel like you told me about it.
I saw it on an airplane.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And you thoroughly enjoyed it. That's a fairly recent movie, though.
I mean, like look, I say I enjoyed it. My for disaster movies, like the bar is really low.
Okay.
I typically don't watch them. So if I can say like that was an okay experience, I'll call it a win. Because my thing with disaster movies is people get so stupid.
Yeah.
Like they just do dumb things.
Well, it's like horror movies, dude.
Like during an earthquake, you don't run to the top of a building. Like that bitch is gonna fall.
Yeah. No, I totally get it.
What?
Yeah, no, I feel the exact same way. I feel the exact same way about horror movies. Like that was one of the big things for me was that's what I expected. So hopefully, like me, you will get a newfound enjoyment out of disaster movies from this month. Who knows?
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for.
Open-minded.
That's right.
All right,
man. Yes.
Give me your third.
Okay, so this one is, I don't think it's as like critically acclaimed. Let me see what it got here on IMDb. You're looking at a 6.5.
Okay.
So not like terrible.
Sharknado.
Yeah, no, not Sharknado.
Well, you're missing out.
But no, I've seen Sharknado. I think I've seen the 3 of them, if I'm not mistaken. I think
might be more
3.
It might be more than 3 at this point.
For you, really? Have you seen more than 3?
I mean, I think there's more than 3. I can't.
Oh no, I think there is more than 3.
They're all the same. Like I can't.
Yeah.
You could give me 3 scenes from 8 different movies, and it's a shark and a tornado.
No. So my third one is actually, it's a hard pick. I love this movie. The Day After Tomorrow. Huge fan. A little bit of Jake Gyllenhaal. A little bit of D. Quaid. Dennis Quaid, for those of you.
Here's my thing with Dennis Quaid movies.
Tell me, because I love them. I think
they can only be so good. Like it's like its own tier of movie,
right?
Like, especially sports movies.
Yeah.
Like anytime Dennis Quaid's in a sports movie, I'm like, okay, that's a 6. No higher, no lower. It's never gonna be. It's Dennis Quaid. It's Dennis Quaid in a movie. It has a ceiling.
I feel like Dennis Quaid gives off such dad vibes. I feel like he's just like watching just a dad. Like he looks like somebody that you would confuse on the street for one of your buddy's dads.
Yeah, I think
You know?
Dennis Quaid benefited from a time where you didn't have to be that good of an actor.
Whoa, okay, now you're taking shots.
I'm not
Okay,
taking
that's
shots.
just not.
I'm just being honest.
That seemed
I'm
intentionally
just being
hurtful.
no, I'm just being honest. I'm saying like I I challenge someone for all of the internet. Give me a Dennis Quaid movie that's above a 6.
I'm giving you one right here. Six and a
No,
half.
it's look that half
The day
point
after tomorrow.
that half point is Jake Gyllenhaal, and it's not the movie's still a 6.
Okay,
I'm telling you.
All right, so
That's a challenge for all of our new viewers, all of our listeners.
yeah, make sure you pose the question whenever you post the podcast.
Yeah. Can Dennis Quaid be in a movie that's better than a 6?
A 6. I like it. No, so Dennis Quaid is it says here he's a paleoclimatologist, which is a really big word that I would never remember. I probably would just call him like a meteorologist or something. He's a weather guy.
Apparently that's different. Paleo is something with dinosaurs.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is different. I think it's like a study of the weather through the years.
It's probably the climate that affected the dinosaurs.
Well, not just the dinosaurs,
Oh,
but like
no, it's
as
just
it pertains
it's Dennis Quaid, it's the dinosaurs.
whatever. It doesn't matter. It's neither here nor there. He studies weather patterns, okay?
Sure.
And this is right before like it hits the fan and you got helicopters freezing in midair. It's really cool. And I've always really enjoyed the movie. And he's trying to like save his son and his son's girlfriend, I think maybe. Yeah, super neat. Really, really enjoy the movie. If you haven't seen it, I give it 2 thumbs way up. And Jarrett would give it a 6.
Well, each of those thumbs represents a 3. So 3.
So yeah, that's definitely a me pick. I don't know that movie would ever get like love from anybody. I thought it was really good.
I get it. I mean, I think San Andreas is like a 6. I think it takes a very special disaster movie to break the threshold.
That's fair.
Because it's just like and I think it's because like most disaster movies are trying to be based in science.
Right.
Like, oh, this like the day after tomorrow could happen if we don't tackle climate change. I can't imagine temperatures ever getting so cold a helicopter freezes mid-flight.
Yeah, it doesn't seem realistic.
Like, I just don't think that's how it works. Now, scientists, you can prove me wrong.
Somebody please put the effort in and prove him wrong.
Freeze a helicopter mid-flight.
Love to see that.
Yeah, I'm not wrong very often. So. Just know that.
I respect it. So yeah, The Perfect Storm or The Day After Tomorrow. Dadgummit.
I guess you want to go ahead and do your next movie. Then how do you even confuse yourself talking?
Because I've got the tabs for IMDb all side by side, and I looked up. Anyways, dadgummit. That's what I get for trying to check the score mid-podcast, huh?
Yep.
So for my last movie, I chose The Perfect Storm. I love this movie. I forgot how good the cast was. I need to rewatch it. But essentially, it's about this fishing boat that gets stuck out in this gigantic storm. It's like 5 people, but the cast is actually nuts. I think it's because I know more about movies now than I did before.
Yeah.
Like, because I haven't even looked at this movie. It's been years. So let me find the cast real quick because it's pretty wild. Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah, hit me.
All right. You got George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg, John C. Reilly. I thought there was more. No, that's it.
But those are John C. Reilly's.
I legit thought there was more, but look,
John C. Reilly's. Well, I mean, there's only like 3 people on the boat anyway. It's not like the cast can be that big.
That's true.
I
mean,
mean,
5 people.
Obviously, John C. Reilly's the odd man out of that group because Clooney and Wahlberg are
They're a different breed,
certified goats.
Yeah,
But
they're a different breed.
Yeah, Perfect Storm. I like that movie a lot. It's got the iconic big wave.
The waves
scene. Yeah, I think most everyone's either seen a reference to that or actually seen it.
Yeah, the picture, the iconic, like the picture, the DVD. I don't know what they call that thing, like the
cover photo.
Yeah, is that what they call it though? Like technically, I thought it had a name.
What on the
Maybe whatever cover photo. That sounds good. Of the boat like going up the wave.
Yeah, almost vertical.
Yeah, it's pretty nutty looking. It kind of like makes my stomach queasy.
Yeah, I would not.
Like when you ride a roller coaster and you're about to drop.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, The Perfect Storm is a absolutely fantastic disaster movie.
I agree.
So, all right. It's your turn. I ruined mine anyways.
Yeah, I mean, you just shotgunned it.
The element of surprise was gone.
They make pills for that, though.
Yeah. Thanks, man. You're such a good dude.
I'm here for you.
Yeah. I bet you are.
My movie is probably my second favorite movie all time.
Ooh.
It's got my go-to actor in any situation, little Leo DiCaprio.
Leo. I know what it is.
Well, it's the Titanic.
Yeah. Yes.
I think it's probably, I don't know. I mean, I would consider a disaster movie. It's not your quintessential disaster movie, because only like the back half of it is a disaster. But based on true stories, I think that's always pretty cool.
Sorry. I was going to say, well, based on your criteria earlier, I would look at it as pretty disastrous if a boat sank after hitting an iceberg.
Yeah, the unsinkable boat out on that.
Yeah.
Also, just hit me. Has Bill Paxton in it. So,
well, again, rip Bill Paxton, and also look at that, Jarrett.
Maybe all my disaster movies just need to have Bill Paxton in it.
Maybe that's the secret.
The spice of life is Bill Paxton.
Oh man, yeah, that's a good one to pick. It's definitely a classic. Obviously, most of everybody in the entire world has seen the Titanic, and if they haven't, then they're millennials.
What's on Netflix now too? So
I don't know if that's relevant. I just want to throw shade.
Yeah, you youngins and your lack of movie taste.
We're gonna be those old guys, Jarrett. That's gonna be us.
I think we're already those old guys.
You are. You're 30, bro.
Yeah, hey, dude, I'm dirty. What is it? 30, flirty, and thriving.
30, flirty, and thriving.
Yeah, have you never seen 13 Going on 30 with Jennifer Garner?
I have seen 13 Going on 30 with Jennifer Garner.
That was her wish, that she'd be 30, flirty, and thriving.
No, I remember. All right, well.
Not that 30. I've seen it.
Right.
Or enjoyed it.
Cool. We need to do. Do we have a rom-com month or like any sort of like chick flick type thing?
I think that's February.
February. Okay, good.
I mean, Valentine's Day.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
There's so many that I enjoy.
Now we can get all of our guilty pleasures out in the open and not feel bad about it because it's topical, not just weird.
All right. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to that.
As am I.
We need to do the same thing for our binging podcast, so I can give you the Gilmore Girls for a little bit.
Dude, I don't want to watch the Gilmore Girls. I've seen enough of the Gilmore Girls, dude.
Yeah, I had such a mean crush on Rory.
Lauren.
Lauren
was a Gilmore fanatic.
So was Katie.
Dude, like look, if you want trashy high school stuff, I've seen all 4 seasons of the OC, and I'll rewatch that shit in a heartbeat. Me and Cody used to watch that on the reg. Order pizza, watch the OC for 8 hours.
It's like when you were kids, you used to watch Dragon Ball Z, and then you hit your teenage years, and it was OC.
Yeah. Not
One
26.
Tree.
Not 26. Teenager. Yeah. Dude, One Tree Hill's kind of goated though.
Dude, I've never seen it.
It's pretty goated.
I've heard good things. I've never seen it. Did you do Seventh Heaven though? That was a me thing.
Sometimes
Jessica Biel was in it.
Oh, yeah.
Enough said.
Yeah, I mean,
am I right, fellas? All right.
She did get with Justin Timberlake, but we've really gone off.
Justin Timberlake got with her.
Calm down.
That's not true. Justin Timberlake is Man Crush Monday every Monday. So
you think if they keep Jessica Biel's last name, they'll name their daughter Batmo? What?
What? Tell me, did you just come up? Was that a you joke just
No,
now?
I wish I could.
Top?
I wish I could claim that.
That was beautiful. What a great joke.
It was. I really enjoyed it. I laughed really hard.
They're gonna have absolutely just beautiful children.
Genetically freaks.
Yeah, it's just not fair, really.
No, the world's not ready. I bet that's when the apocalypse happens.
Surely. Yeah.
They birth it, and then all of the talent sucked out of everyone else.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody else has any talent ever. You can't have anything. All right.
Disaster movies.
Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about today. Disaster movies. We got way off topic there. It doesn't matter.
We're just ready to be in February.
We're vibing, dude. We're having a good time.
We're just ready to be in February, man.
So Titanic was a great pick though, man. It really. And I have seen that. And if you want to give me that movie, I will watch it anytime.
I mean, you've already
big
seen
fan.
it.
That's true. I have already seen it. So, all right. I think we covered. That's all of them, right?
Yeah, that's all of them. Do you have an idea for a topic for next week?
Oh, for next week, let's do. I do not have a topic for next week. I was trying to think of some, but like I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't.
Disaster movies are hard.
They are. We'll come up with something neat.
Yeah.
You know, we got 2 people like totaling one whole brain. Yeah, I mean, we can do something here.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
You have to put your survival team together. You and 4 people. You and 4 people.
Okay.
From disaster movies you've seen, and you have to survive.
What are we surviving?
Just
is there anything specific?
No, I mean it could be any kind of. Let's just assume it's kind of like a San Andreas or Day After Tomorrow type thing.
Would you count the Avengers?
Because disaster,
isn't it though?
That's cheating.
Well, I'll take Thor.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to take Seth Rogen, James Franco, Danny McBride.
At least you have a good time when you go out.
And Jonah Hill. If I'm dying, I'm going out laughing.
That's phenomenal. Oh my God. All right, cool. I like it. So we'll take. All right, so 4 people plus yourself.
Yeah.
And you have to survive in a pocket. So who are you taking? Okay. Yeah. I can do it. Easy. I'm gonna smoke you. We'll put up a poll for that one too.
Are you ready for me and 4 Bill Paxtons?
No. I don't think anybody's ready for that, bud. Oh man. Okay. All right. We're having too much fun. We gotta dial back the fun.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into our movies that we watched.
Yeah,
actually, let's go ahead and do The Last Duel first.
Okay.
And because I didn't watch it yet, so I'm gonna let you talk about that for a little bit. But I've heard nothing but good things, man.
So Last Duel is about the French, the Last Duel, I guess whatever the Kingdom of France had before it kind of became an archaic practice. Well, it was archaic in the movie, but the guy asked for one. So the plot of the movie is you have two guys that went to war together, Matt Damon's character and Adam Driver's character. And when they got back from war, they kind of took different paths through life. And they kind of crossed paths, but they didn't quite get along like they used to in war. Adam Driver's character is accused of raping Matt Damon's wife. Matt Damon has, back then you have to prove it in court when you're accused of something, or someone has to prove it for you. So they say, let's have a duel. The winner is obviously that's God's showing who was right and who was wrong. And the way they broke down the movie was it was almost like three different movies in one. So you had Matt Damon's take on the story, you had Adam Driver's take of the story, and then you had the wife's take on the story. And it was really interesting to see how different the same event took place in three different people's minds.
Now, do they give you the actual story beforehand? Like, or do
No.
you get, so you have no idea?
Like the movie starts when they're starting the duel, and then it goes chapter 1, Jean's truth. And that's Matt Damon's character. And then you watch like the first hour and a half of the movie, and then it's like chapter 2, I forget Adam Driver's character, his truth. And then you watch his telling of the same story, but like events the way he tells it are different than what Matt Damon character saw it. And then you have chapter 3, which was the wife's perspective. And it was portrayed as the way the actual event happened.
Okay.
Like her outlook was supposed to be, at least to me as the viewer, I saw it as the actual event.
So they don't come out and explicitly say what actually happened?
No.
Okay. That's interesting.
But it's actually a phenomenal movie. Like 9 out of 10. It's hard for me to give anything a 10 out of 10. But that's
high praise. That's high praise. And just knowing you as long as I have, that 9's
Ben Affleck's character was
a frequent
great.
number.
It's just, it's 2.5 hours, so it's a long movie. But if it wasn't for another movie that we're going to talk about in just a minute, I could have easily given that movie of the year. I like walking out of the theater, I was like, it's Ridley Scott. He did Gladiator. This is probably the closest thing to Gladiator I've seen in a long time in terms of movies I've enjoyed. So I watch it the first chance you get, anyone, as soon as it comes to DVD or streaming or anything.
I didn't know that was a Ridley Scott movie.
Yeah. I mean, it's an epic. Like the action scenes, awesome. The action scenes are great. The fighting's great. The story's great. You're just sitting there and like, you don't even know how like they're shooting the movie until halfway in it. Cause like they say chapter 1, Jean's truth. And then you're like, okay, cool. And then they'll just tell the story out. And then they flip the script and then they show you the same movie again, but it's different because someone else's perspective. It's hard to explain, but it's seeing the same events unfold 3 different times and 3 different perspectives. You're kind of like, oh, this is how he thought it went down.
That's awesome.
But that might not be true. And so it's like you go from liking a character to hating a character because obviously they're portraying themselves well in their own mind and stuff like that. But like to a bystander, they're actually just being assholes. And so it's really hard to like, you're just sitting there like you have to rethink the entire movie every 45 minutes to an hour because you're seeing the same thing differently. And you're like, dude, what is the actual truth?
That's awesome. That sounds great. Yeah, no, everything I saw, man, it looks phenomenal. It looked like something that I feel like you would get really behind aesthetically too.
Yeah,
I felt like it had like your like vibes, especially and given the times, what was it, like 1500s or something? It was like
1500s, 1600s.
Yeah,
very
long time ago.
Yeah, very medieval.
So like you gotta understand that there's not gonna be a lot of special effects type like
Well,
new age stuff. It's gonna be
well,
very natural.
well, you forget like the time period, like you kind of get lost in it, and then they're in the court and they're talking about how, well, you can't have a baby through rape. You have to have an orgasm to get pregnant. And so they're just like berating this woman, like,
Oof.
did you have an orgasm when you were having sex with them? Because it's not rape if you liked it. And then I was just like, dude,
Oof.
like it's so
What a terrible, terrible perspective.
like there's
Oh,
some very heavy scenes in that movie where you're kind of just like, dude, I like,
that's tough, man.
yeah, like being a
Like
woman and
truly.
like being a woman in that time period, you're just like, did you stand no chance?
That's no.
Like,
I
like they're
could
not
I
even
couldn't do it.
they're not even mad that you got raped. They're mad because they see women as property, and that would be him assaulting Matt Damon's property. Like
Good
that's where the whole
Lord.
issue stems from. It's not what happened to her.
Wow.
It's like you violated someone's property, so you have to go to
Oh,
trial for that. Well,
good Lord.
yeah.
That's insane. I mean,
I mean, it's how it was. Like,
yeah,
it's a historical film.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, sounds like it was a great movie. I'm pretty stoked. What did it get rating wise? Do you know? Or
Uh,
what it's sitting at now, I guess, because
let
it's
me
still out.
let me look real quick. I'll pull it up on my phone.
Oh,
The Last Duel got an 86 on Rotten Tomatoes and an 81 audience score. I think that's a little low. It is an artisan film, so it's kind of, like I said,
yeah.
it's not a
That was
film
it.
movie.
Was it? It wasn't the same. The same people didn't make the Green Knight movie, right?
No, 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 no. That was
Okay.
A24. It's not weird. Like it's not like a hard movie to follow. It's just a heavy movie. Like there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
topics and stuff that get covered that you're like,
It's
this
pretty
is
long too, right? Like I know some people don't
two,
necessarily enjoy sitting through that kind of thing.
yeah,
I love it.
2.5 hours, kind of like a slow burn where a lot of stuff is happening, but there's a lot of dialogue.
Yeah.
So
I feel like it's one of those movies that takes a lot out of you.
yeah, it was
Like
hard
heavy.
it was hard to start my 3-movie day.
Oh, you started with
Yeah,
you did because I wasn't there for it. That's
yeah,
right.
that was my first one.
Ooh, I bet Ron's Gone Wrong was just welcome. That
It was a good change of pace.
And speaking of, let's go ahead and discuss Ron's Gone Wrong. Which I was fortunate enough I got off early that day and got to rush to the theater and I got there on time to watch it. And I am so glad that I did because that movie is a gem, an absolute gem of a movie. It's not Disney, is it Fox? I think you said.
No, it's Fox, but they're owned by Disney. That's why they could use like the Darth Vader skins for their robots and
oh, that's right. That's right. They did do that.
But that was a movie that flew so far under my radar. Like I knew it came out and I knew it looked funny or like a cute animated movie.
Right.
But I was not expecting to laugh out loud for almost the entirety of the movie.
Yeah. I don't think any of us. I think we expected it to have its moments. Like it was gonna have its like its cute, funny moments or whatever. But that movie was hysterical, and
all the time.
The entire movie. There's you couldn't go 10 minutes without just absolutely laughing your ass off, and it was great.
Well, I thought it was hysterical because we were in there, and there was that like birthday party of like 8 5-year-olds. And we were laughing way harder than they were.
They were.
Like our buddy Andrew saw it with us, and it was almost tear-inducing at some of the scenes. Like,
yeah, dude, I felt really bad for him not having a robot, and it was like he was like a social pariah because he didn't have a stupid little robot friend or whatever.
The teacher's making him sit on the bench, and the bench says sit here and someone will come play with you. I'm like, dude, that is so depressing, dude. Like the kid's in middle school, of course he's going to get made fun of for it.
Dude. It's just absolutely awful. Um, but yeah, and he was what was his family's heritage? They were like Swedish, maybe?
No, I thought it was like
What was it?
I thought it was like satellite Russian.
Maybe Russian. Because the grandmother had
Did
me
she?
dying.
She was so funny.
Like, and then her almost dying to the robot after teaching it like to polka or whatever.
Yeah,
Like, dude,
whatever, whatever the dance was.
robot threw a cleaver at her. So,
Maybe just turn it off and back on.
oh man, but no, the it was absolutely, and I had no idea that was Zach Galifianakis until the end.
Oh, I didn't either.
I truly was shocked because he was the voice of the robot. I did not know that. And actually, let me take a look at the cast here because
I think there was another
Ed Helms,
yeah,
was the voice of Graham, and we love Ed Helms. If you're an Office fan, you know who that is.
yep,
Or just The Hangover.
yep.
Let's see, director Sarah Smith, John Philip Vine, Octavio E. Rodriguez. That's a good director's name, by the way, Octavio. Let me see. I don't see anybody else that's like a huge name. They might be in the voice acting world, which I know is very much a thing.
I think the main actor, the kid,
Yeah.
he was the one of the kids that was in It.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the one that was like, "Mom, these are gazebos." The one that was like,
yeah, he wasn't.
yeah, super afraid of like getting dirty or anything because his mom
He's
said he was
also
sick
in
all the time.
Shazam and Luca.
He is in Shazam and Luca. He was really good in Shazam.
Yeah, it seems like he's going to be like on the way. Was he the main guy in the main kid version in Shazam?
No, he was his crippled foster brother.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I think like what my favorite line from that movie when he's like, "I know what you're thinking. I'm crippled and I have no parents. What else what else could go wrong?"
That's morbid. Good
Yeah,
God.
he's really funny.
But yeah, dude, it's just a really good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed Ron's Gone Wrong. Highly recommend it. I'm probably gonna watch it again, and if I can watch it in theaters, I'm going to.
Yeah, if it
absolutely gonna happen.
Like, I don't know. Hopefully, it comes to Disney Plus or something.
I did the same thing with Onward though. I loved Onward so much that as soon as I could watch it streamed, I watched it streamed. That movie was amazing.
Onward was also criminally underrated.
Oh yeah,
it gets no love, but
it doesn't. It was a beautiful. First of all, it was a beautiful movie. Second of all, it really tugged at the old heartstrings. Like that movie was. It was really tough to watch that. Like and keep it to myself. Like I had to cry silently. You know, it was just awful.
That's why you had the whole yawn. And...
Yeah. It's really weird if you hear me go. You know what I mean, dude? So you can't do that when you're watching a movie with your boys, dude. But it'd be like that sometimes.
Dude, you know, I don't even care anymore. Like, if it's sad, it's sad.
Yeah, dude, it really was. That was a tough one, man.
When they start chopping onions in the theater, it's off. I can't.
Why do they do that so often?
I don't know, dude. That's cold.
That's tough. But yeah, Ron's Gone Wrong. Definitely A+. I give it like an 8. It was that good. Yeah, truly.
It was hysterical.
It was a vibe.
Did everything I wanted the movie to do.
Oh, and then some. I mean, it was just.
So let me ask you this.
Okay.
Was it better than Mitchell's versus Machines?
Yes.
Oh, man, you didn't even have to think about it.
No, I didn't. I loved Mitchell's versus the Machine. I like truly enjoyed that movie. But I think it's way better. I think the animation. I think I might prefer the animation from Mitchell's versus the Machines a little bit more. But as far as just like overall, I think Ron's Gone Wrong was better because it was funnier. Like obviously the two robots from Mitchell's versus the Machines were pretty great.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ron's Gone Wrong was to me so much funnier.
I respect
So,
that.
what about you? Like, are you in the same camp? Like,
I'm
were you that big of Mitchell?
I'm TBD about it, honestly.
Fair.
Like, I feel like I need to rewatch Mitchell's versus the Machine
Yeah.
because I remember when I saw that movie, I was also like just dying in my living room laughing so hard. Like the dog in Mitchell's versus Machine is hysterical. All the little shorts, like Dog Cop or whatever it is.
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah,
The same dog with
dude. When I forget the entire scene, but when that girl's talking to her little brother about dinosaurs and he just yells and runs away. I just, dude,
yeah.
It's just so funny.
Yeah, no, it was a great movie. Like, I would never say it wasn't, but for me, yeah, I mean, honestly, it was like it was quick. Maybe it's because I watched it recently, but
yeah,
it's kind of where I'm at. But that's a fair question.
I'll take any excuse to rewatch Mitchell's vs. Machine and Ron's Gone Wrong. So
yeah, absolutely. We're giant kids when you think about
dude,
it. Like,
like
you're 30, I'm about to be 30. We're sitting here talking about Mitchell versus Machines and Ron's Gone Wrong and onward. Like,
yeah, but
good Lord,
there's no reason to stop having fun just because you get older.
That's right.
That's not what life's about.
Preach, bro. Preach. All right, let's go ahead and let's discuss the big one. We watched Dune.
In theaters, as it should be.
As it should be. And actually, you go ahead and kick us off with Dune. What did you think about Dune?
I think Dune is a masterpiece of epic proportions. I think Daniel Villanueva, who I already kind of like, I like his directing style. I think he did. Now, I haven't read the books, but from the sources that I've talked to that have read the books multiple times, said this is about as close to the books as you can get.
Right.
But they appreciated some of the liberties he took because they're like, you have to understand, it's not the writer Dune you're watching, it's Daniel Villanueva's interpretation of the book Dune. But I think the acting was spot on. The cast is insane. Oscar Isaacs is fantastic. Timothy Chalamet, he might be, for his age, one of the best actors out there right now. I mean, everything he's been in that I've watched has been pretty much a masterpiece.
Yeah, I was gonna touch on that too.
I love
phenomenal.
Him. It's just, Jason Momoa. Aesthetically, it was gorgeous. They didn't try to do too much, which sometimes movie translations of books do. We've covered that in a podcast before. I think I didn't know it was a part 1 until we got in the theater and it said Dune Part 1. I think Skarsgård's bad guy, the giant alien guy, was perfect. I mean, the movie's a 9.5, a 9. It's what's stopping me from saying The Last Duel is the best movie of the year. And I've been thinking about that for 2 weeks now, and I still don't have an answer for anybody.
Yeah, I'm in the exact same camp. This movie was phenomenal. I'm probably going to watch it a couple more times. The acting was absolutely incredible. I expected more Zendaya. We didn't get a whole lot of her, and I didn't care. Like, it didn't matter. Like,
no.
she was exactly where she needed to be when she needed to be there.
Yep.
Oscar Isaac, phenomenal. You touched on Timothy Chalamet, dude, amazing. Like, the entire cast, honestly, the weakest acting in the cast came from Dave Bautista, but even he wasn't bad. Like,
yeah, he didn't have to act. Like, his character was an angry. I mean, that their species, from what we understood, were not. I won't say not intelligent, but they weren't vocal. Like, they spoke in like clicks and tones and things like that. So it's very reasonable, and they're very aggressive
Yeah, I think they're like a warrior clan type deal going.
Yeah.
They obviously had a relationship with the emperor guy, and I think their job was just to capture the clan that the family that Oscar Isaac belonged to, the
Yeah.
House Atreides or
Yeah. Atreides.
Atreides.
I mean, I don't even think it's capture. I think it's just eradicate.
Yes. I was actually super glad that I didn't know it was a multiple part movie. Um, I understood that it was a long book series, um, and it was almost as though they expected you to expect more than one movie. And I can appreciate that because I feel like if you're going to do a novel adaptation, especially one that's that big, if you're going to do it correctly, it's going to be multiple movies. There's Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, anything that's generally based on a novel have at least done well are historically multiple movies. So I'm super glad that they took that approach. It allowed them to do something that I thought they would not do, and that's focus on the production of the entirety of the movie, right? So like you expect if you're going to do a movie that's based on a 6 to 8 book series or however long Dune was,
Yeah.
if you're going to do one movie, there's going to be a lot of rush. There's going to be not as much attention to detail, and that was non-existent in this movie. This, as far as movies go, this was amazing. And I haven't read the books for Dune yet,
Right.
but I imagine they did a pretty bang up job.
Well, this is just the first book.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like it's not even book 2, 3, 4, 5. Like we got a 2.5 hour film about the first half of the first book.
Yeah, I
So
love that.
And I don't know if they'll. I'm sure it'll depend on monetary success, but
Right.
I think. I mean, you have to be very careful with movies when they're 2.5 hours long, right? That's when you're kind of reaching the point of losing your audience.
Yeah.
I think once you get past the 2 hour mark, you have to be really putting out a high quality product to keep your audience engaged.
Sure.
And I think book movies need to do that more. I would have watched a 2.5 hour first half of the Prisoner of Azkaban movie or something like that. Like I don't think the entire book needs to be in one. That's why like that's the whole series output. We take like books deserve and need longer setups because there's so much to unpack. And like I said, everyone I've talked to said the movie got to about just right after halfway in the book. So we'll probably have another 2.5 hour part 2, which got confirmed for what was it,
Yes,
2022?
I saw that 2023. I think.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I hate that. I do, but I'm really
Yeah.
excited. Like, and I'm glad they're taking the time to do it right. Obviously, the first Dune movie was atrocious, right? It was really bad. And like I'm pretty sure it's historically bad. If I'm not mistaken, I've heard so many bad things about the first Dune, and it's the whole reason why they didn't want to tackle the movie. And so,
Yeah, the 1984 movie is something like the guy I did the podcast with in Biloxi, Jay, is a
yeah.
Dune fanatic. Like read the book 8 times.
Oh, sick.
I literally asked him like one question about the movie that I didn't understand, and it turned into like a 45-minute like just dissertation of everything I needed to know. And I loved it because anyone who can be that passionate about a series, I can get behind. And
Sure.
he enjoyed the movie from my understanding when I've talked to him, which and I can appreciate. I mean, obviously I didn't read the books, but I can appreciate people taking the time and respecting their fans.
Yeah, that's one of the things that you're targeting a very specific audience, and you got to make sure that the people that are the most familiar, if you can make that portion of the viewers happy, then you're probably making a bigger portion of the viewers happy.
Well,
Does that make sense? Like,
I thought Dune did a great job, because I think if you're a fan of the series, you're going to love it. I think if you're new to the series, you're going to love it, because I never felt lost. Like some of the names were hard to follow, just because, I mean, they're space names. Same thing in Star Wars. Like, there's a ton of different races in Star Wars that get confusing. But as far as the plot goes, like, it was very well paced. It never felt slow or dragged out. Something was always happening for 2.5 hours, and we were getting bits and pieces of information that I loved it.
Yeah, it's like you said, but going back to what you're saying about the length of the movie, how you and I have interpreted a successful movie that's that long is when we're surprised that it's over. Yeah. And this is one of those where I was like, I wasn't ready for the end of it. I wanted more. It was so well done. It was such a beautiful movie. And I think, you look at the performances of the actors, and they were phenomenal, but just the movie, like creating another world, right? Obviously not creating, because it's obviously, it come from a book, but like,
well, you still have to put it
making
on.
it. Yes.
I mean, making it
visual.
I was going to say, no one knows what the Dune world looks like. He said, this is how Daniel Villanueva read the setting. I said, this is my vision of it. Yeah. I obviously liked it. It was gorgeous. Anyone who can make a planet of sand look beautiful.
Yeah.
They've got a talent.
Yeah, truly. I gave this movie, like you, 9.5, because 10's obviously like not really attainable, but like, yeah. I mean, this is probably as close as it gets. It was an actual bop. This movie was great.
Did it bump Shang-Chi off your one spot?
Yeah, I think so. I really love Shang-Chi, and I'm gonna have to watch it again because that movie was gorgeous. But no, I think this movie was definitely a higher tier.
Yeah, it's a different level.
Yeah,
like
it's noticeable.
Yeah, we've seen basically everything that's come to theater this year.
Yeah,
or most of it at least, and it's different.
It really is, and I didn't think it would be. I mean, wow, like, damn, you asked me, and I was like, yep. Yeah.
I get it.
Like, it wasn't even like I can't.
Like, I left the Last Duel saying, like, that's the best movie I've seen all year, and then I watched Dune, and I was like,
literally 2 hours later, you're like, all right, let's watch Dune.
Yeah, I was like, I probably saw the best two movies of the year in the same 8-hour time span. So awesome. Truly blessed.
Yeah.
But I will say this, and it's probably something we'll revisit in kind of like the end of December. I'm kind of thinking of like a end of year award show that we can do. I think October has given us the best month of movies today.
Yeah, it's been it was a really good one, man. There's a lot of bangers put out in October, and we knew, it was just kind of set up that way where we were going to be watching some pretty damn good movies, and we got the Eternals this week. Like,
dude, and let me say this. Let me say this about the Eternals. Okay. To all the viewers out there, don't look at the pre-reviews and get disheartened, because I think they're getting review bombed, and so it's showing that the movie's a 60%, and I don't think that is an accurate score to what the movie will actually be.
Yeah, but is there a reason why they would do that?
It's too diverse, is the main complaint.
Too diverse?
Yes. So that should say a lot about the audience that is review bombing them. Like, I think it's the first gay superhero, the first deaf superhero.
Oh,
Like,
dude.
obviously, there's a bunch of, I mean, yeah, they're not all white or whatever. So don't, like I said, don't look at the reviews and say, oh, it got a 59 on Rotten Tomatoes. That's not an accurate score. Uh, do Disney a favor, go see it, give it a high audience rating if you do enjoy it.
Wait, I'm confused here.
Yeah,
Were we not as a people
no.
shooting for diversity? Like, is that not something that we find acceptable today? Like, I thought that was the thing.
Well, you have to remember it's the internet, and the internet's filled with the
Trolls.
the worst types of people. I read an article today about how the review bombing is probably a good thing because they're triggering the people you want to feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, now I think Eternal is going to be great. I think it will struggle from having 8 main characters.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of background information that probably gets rushed, but they've shown in history's past that they can handle kind of catching up pretty well without it feeling obnoxious or over the top. I think it's the first MCU movie of its time, or will be the first MCU movie of the time. It's an epic. It's not a comic book movie. It's an epic. It's like their attempt at Dune, I think, is how the Eternals is going to be filmed.
Yeah.
So
to me, it looked great. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not looking at reviews. I like to do my own reviews.
Yeah, I mean, Rotten Tomatoes is so 50-50 with me anyway. So, like I said, see it yourself.
Well, I was gonna say that to me, I don't like movie critics. I appreciate what they do, but I don't like having that kind of like decided before a movie comes out what they think people will think about a movie.
And I think it says a lot from Disney's side, because usually if your movie's getting bombed by reviewers, like if they're saying like this movie's bad, they will hold off on releasing the reviews to the public until like day of release.
Yes.
And so the fact that these have been out for like 2 weeks and Disney's not trying.
Well, that's what surprised me the most when you said that, was like, I'm surprised that they allowed that to happen.
Yeah, I think if Disney was afraid of the reviews running people off, they would have pulled them until day of, or a couple nights before. But I think Disney's being very upfront and saying, you know what, we're getting tanked because XYZ, internet's trolly, but we're standing behind our actors, we're standing behind our movie.
I respect that.
Because I mean, they pulled. I think they did that with Captain Marvel. Like I think it was getting tanked, and they pulled it. But I think they were afraid I think they were afraid it was not a good movie, and they had every right to be, because it was not a good movie.
Yeah, no, that sounds right. But yeah. So whatever you do, guys, just watch the movie.
Yeah.
Formulate your own opinions. Yeah. That's what I'm interested in. I'm not interested in what a critic has to say ever.
Nope.
I'm interested in what Jarrett has to say. Yeah. I'm interested
in what Kevin has to say.
That's other than that, it is what it is. If you're a fan of the show, I'm interested in what you have to say. So what me and Jarrett would like, if you guys ever have any questions, thoughts, topics for us, if you have some natural disaster movies for us, we can be reached. If you're friends with us personally, you can send us a DM. That's a direct message. See, I'm hip.
They know
I'm hip. Yeah, so on Facebook you can actually find us at Silence Your Cell Phones under the subcategory of podcasts. You can find us on IG, that's Instagram, at Silence Your Cell Phones.
I hate you.
And if you want to shoot us an email, you can do that too. We got it. We have a Gmail like every other, big name podcast.
Yeah.
And we are at we're silence yourself phone, no S at gmail.com. And me, we'd love to hear from you. We should be having another guest soon, pretty soon, right, Jarrett? That's a thing.
I say I'll hit him up. I say we get Brad in on the choose your survival squad.
I'm perfectly cool with that. I love me some Brad. Good people right there, and a longtime listener.
Longtime friend.
Longer time friend. Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have Brad come on and give us his 2 cents, and we'll probably argue about something. I don't know what, but
I mean,
I imagine that I'm not going to agree with anything he says. So
he's got some pretty hot takes.
No, we love Brad. So yeah, let's do that. Let's have him on the show next week.
Sure.
And he can come prepared with that. And then if you want to give him a movie to watch, that'll work too.
Sure.
And that way we can kind of all be on the same page. I don't think I gave you a movie.
Yeah, you did not.
Did I give you one? I didn't. All right. So before we started the podcast, I was thinking about this.
I'm sure you were.
I decided to give you this movie. No, what I want you to do is I want to watch it too. Deep Impact.
Okay.
Watch Deep Impact because I vaguely remember it being pretty good, and I want to watch it too. Yeah. So we'll just do that. Yeah. So you watch Deep Impact, and I'll watch. What movie did you give me again? The Twister.
Twister.
Yes, I'll watch Twister, and we'll roll into next week's episode with some good vibes and some
gas,
some gasolina. So yeah, no, that's cool. Works for me. Do you have? What are we looking forward to besides the Eternals? Anything?
The Eternals.
I said besides the Eternals. What's coming out? Like what's new?
I'd be very surprised.
It's just the Eternals.
I was gonna say, I would be very surprised if anyone was trying to open the same week as the Eternals. Like that seems just like movie suicide.
Yeah, it really does.
I mean,
I'll take a look though on the old AMC app.
You got the Eternals, Spencer. That's an artisan movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about it. Looks like just the Eternals.
Yo, Clifford the Big Red Dog on the 10th.
No, thank you.
Yeah, that movie looks just bad.
I mean, it looks like it's going to have the target audience it needs to, but it's not going to be funny enough. Like Ron's Gone Wrong for me.
You remember when they tried to do the CGI Garfield with Bill Murray?
Yeah.
You remember how terrible it was?
Well, you know the new Chris Pratt's going to be Garfield.
What?
Yeah, Chris Pratt's going to be the voice of the new Garfield movie.
Why do they keep doing that?
I don't know. Dude. First it's Mario, then Garfield. Like Chris Pratt.
I saw the Mario thing. That's pretty cool.
He's a hot commodity.
You mentioned Star Wars earlier, and I saw the trailer for Boba Fett, and that looks dope.
The Book of Boba Fett.
Yes, that should be a good time. I don't know if it'll be as good as the Mandalorian, but I'm hoping it's going to be.
Dude,
awesome.
if it's as good as the Mandalorian, it's going to be gas.
Well, it's like you said, as long as John Favreau has name attached to it, it's probably going to be spectacular.
Yeah, he doesn't do much bad stuff.
Yeah. So we have that to look forward to, and that's going to be on our binging for sure. There's no doubt about it. It'll be on our binge worthy podcast.
Yep.
And for those of you who don't know, we do a podcast every Monday, and we call it binge worthy. And that's where we discuss television as opposed to movies, which we discuss here. So yeah, if you want to drop in and on the channel and show us some love and listen to some, mediocre content. I'm kidding. It's good content. Listen to some good stuff. We're here. We're there for it.
It's real good.
So,
I think our content is slightly above Dennis Quaid.
Whoa. You're still taking shots at my
I
boy.
can't help it. I just saw the Kurt Warner. Dude, the Kurt Warner movie's got Dennis Quaid in it.
Of course it does.
You know it's gonna be. It's gonna
that
be
movie
medium.
looks trash.
It looks like a 6.
Oh, it does.
It looks like a 6.
Damn, got me again.
That's how I'm going to start referring to everything. Everything that's average is now Dennis Quaid.
It's very Dennis Quaid. I give it a Dennis Quaid out of 10.
Yeah, very Dennis Quaid out of 10.
Well, I got nothing else, man. I think that's it for the day.
No, I've attacked Dennis Quaid enough. I hope he never listens to this.
Oh no, that wouldn't be good. There's quite a few actors that I hope never listen to our podcast. I can only imagine.
Like who?
Well, off the top of my head, let's see. I was gonna say LeBron James. Yikes.
Well, look, if LeBron James listens to this, Mr. James, with all due respect, you deserve everything we said about you.
With all due respect, and I do mean with all due respect, that idea ain't worth the velvet paint of a way. You know what? I'm just going to stop the quote. Yeah. I'm just not going to finish that one out.
Good call.
Old strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. Yeah, I'm done. No more quotes for me today. I'm sorry.
Well, you're doing the ending.
Oh, it's me. All right, guys. As always, thank you so much. We love having you here. We love the support that we've gotten as long as we've been doing this. I appreciate it. And we will catch you on the next one and scene.